Hey guys, BuildZoid here, and today we're going to do a little bit of a overclocking session. I'm not sure how long the video is going to be. Depends how things go. But yeah, the room's pretty cold because it's summer, but it's cold in the UK, which is nice. There was a few days where it was really hot, and now it's cooled down a bit. So yeah, we're gonna. Well, I want to try beat my 6900 XT Firestrike Ultra top score. So I'm currently at number 5. I think I already have a score that's like a 1744, but I didn't like that, like the GPU score wasn't as high as I wanted it to be. So yeah, we can so beat the 17042 and maybe even beat the 17083. And this is just on air cooling because yeah, I've just like for now I still have the card on air cooling. And cap mods, all the cap mods at this point, and Elmore EVC2 hooked up. So here's the EVC2 software, which I'm not sure if I heard a USB disconnecting sound. So no, it's okay. That still works. So yeah, this is how you do it. Is like you hook it up and then you do find devices and bam, it finds everything. So that's pretty great. Anyway, so this is the main most important one, the XDPE132G5. That's the vCore controller. Also, you have the SoC voltage on loop 2. Loop 1 is vCore. And then on the I2 IR35217, well, here we have memory voltage on loop 1 and memory controller voltage on loop 2. So this works as offsets, and this here works as just set voltage levels. So yeah, anyway, then for the motherboard, we're using the Gigabyte B550 Aorus Master because it's just better when it comes to running 4 memory sticks than any other motherboard in my collection. For the memory sticks, all four, like 4x8 Team Group T-Force Extreme ARGB 3600 CL14. Currently, it's clocked to 4000 CL14. Actually, I think I might have Zen timings on this OS. Maybe we will see. Yeah, I do. So I'll just pull up Zen timings. It's probably an outdated version, but yeah, here you can see the settings. So 14, 13, 12, 24. 1T command, gear down mode, but gear down mode with 1T command rate. Pretty low voltages across the board for everything. And yeah, FCLK at 2000. And this, I don't know that it's 100% stable, but for Firestrike, it's stable enough. Board gets an absolutely gigantic physics score. So yeah, that's kind of the like CPU supporting the GPU setup here, and then for the GPUs just the Red Devil Ultimate. There's Cryonaut Extreme thermal paste on the core, and yeah, the 5950X is at 4.825 on one CCD, and then on the other CCD it's 4.775. I mean 40. Well, 40. I'll just show you there. So yeah. There's not much of a difference between my two CCDs, and kind of a lot of voltage, but it's just for benchmarking, and Firestrike really isn't that heavy. So, we're going to open up GPU Z. Put everything in manual. We're going to disable the 0 fan speed thing. Let's see how far... We can't, unfortunately, set the fan speed to 100% because that crashes the drivers. Well, I don't know if the new drivers fix that, but the drivers this is on, they crash if you do that. We're going to go to fast timing. So we're going to do an initial run with no extra volts. Just like stock volts, but I'm going to go up to, I think, 2613, and then... Let's try 2815. I can't remember what this does without extra voltage for Firestrike Ultra. For Firestrike Extreme, it does like 2858, but for regular Firestrike, I have no, like for Ultra, I have no idea, because it's 4K versus 1440p. Anyway, so GPU is now down to 24C. That's nice and cool. Yeah, so we're going to minimize that and just go for 3D Mark. You're going to use GPU Z for monitoring because it's really lightweight compared to some of the other tools, and it doesn't like it definitely is fine to leave it running in background of Firestrike in my experience. It doesn't make a difference to the score. So yeah, room is really nice and cold because the GPU is going down to all the way to 23 degrees now, so... And I have the window open, so it might get colder. Depends if having the open window, if the open window is capable of removing the heat from this room faster than the GPU is capable of putting it into the room. So... Yeah, so this is obviously a slow run. I think I left the memory at stock clocks, so that doesn't help. We're gonna work the memory up just because I want to do a proof that my card actually runs 2180. Because it's kind of an anomaly that my card can. Well, actually, yeah, I'm straight up the highest Well, there is the special edition from AMD with the like better memory chips that they won't sell directly to users, but yeah, out of the cards you can actually buy, my one clocks memory the highest of any card I've seen, other than the special liquid cooled edition, which I'm so annoyed about. Like seriously, like why would you give the better memory chips to a system integrator only? What like liquid cooled card? Just like give those memory chips to like ASRock for the OC formula, or like you know, for actually good cards instead of a reference PCB. That's my main annoyance with it. Like, I don't even necessarily care about the price. It's just like, why can't I have those memory chips on a good PCB? Why a reference card? Oh man, this setup with the 5950X just destroys physics, and it's just so nice to see. On the Godlike, I was same CPU, same memory kit. On the Godlike, I was struggling to get it to like consistently hit 43,000. Which occasionally this drops below 43,000. There's some weird like Windows thing, but that should have been like a 44,000, almost 44,000 run. Yeah, so this is slow as well. This is gonna speed up a lot. I kind of wish I had the option to run like different frequency profiles for each test. Because I think combined, like looking at the oscilloscope, combined looks like it might have been possible to run at higher frequency than everything else. There's obviously no way to... Like, I don't think there's a way to do hotkeys. Anyway, 413 watts of GPU power draw, and you can't see it because... Oh, man. Okay, wait. We're going to lock that. Lock that. Lock that. And, okay, now the only thing I can grab is the EVC2 window. So, yeah, 413 watts max power draw. Max hotspot temperature, 81 degrees Celsius, yeah. Because we have the fans kind of, like, the fans are cranked, so... Actually, I think I might put that up there. So that's a 16238, that's slow. That's really slow. You know, just like... Top, yeah, it's like... yeah, so like number 13 for Firestrike Ultra with that, so too slow. Let's try 2844. And also we're going to hit 2100 on the memory. Cards cooled down again. I'm not sure that this is going to pass. So Firestrike Ultra actually pulls like significantly more power than Firestrike Extreme does. So can't really push the voltage as high, or at least I don't like. We'll see. We'll see. But I think it like rolls over in Firestrike Ultra. So at this point, it should be doing a top 10. Now, if somebody's wondering why I'm not running TimeSpy is annoying because you have to run it without simultaneous multi-threading because the CPU test there doesn't work properly with more than 16 threads. And TimeSpy Extreme needs like a high core count Threadripper. I think we're gonna max out the core first and then start working on the memory after that. Okay, still max temperature of 81C, 421 watts instead of just 413, so slightly higher max power consumption. Also, max CPU temperature was 78 degrees. So honestly, I could maybe even push the 5950X further, considering those CPU temperatures. But yeah, so that's a 16563, which puts me at like number 9 on the leaderboards, which, yeah. Okay, so I'm not sure what I want to do at this point. Let's do the core. So you're gonna give it 56 millivolts. And actually gonna there. Because otherwise it has like a little pop-up that asks you to confirm every single like register operation, and it's just like, please, like, it's annoying. I'm gonna try 56 more millivolts, and let's try 2887. Yeah, 2887 sounds good. GPU's back down to 24C, so we can just start the test. The weird thing is, like, for Firestrike Extreme, I can run over 2900 max clock, but for Ultra, I really can't. So that's why we're kind of taking it slower today, because I think maybe what I've been doing is running way too much voltage into Ultra. I'm not sure, but that's like one theory I've sort of come up with is like, maybe the reason is that it just gets too damn hot, because Ultra does have more, like, reports more peak power draw in GPU Z, so I suspect just the whole test is hotter. Especially GT1. Like, I don't think I crashed Firestrike Extreme, I crashed GT2 a few times, but which is this test that's running right now, but GT1... Oh, whoa, we just died in GT2. I'll be damned. Apparently you can crash in GT2. Okay, this time max power draw was 478 watts. Max hotspot temperature was 92. That was achieved in GT1, though. So I guess it was just like boosting. Oh man, what was the max boost? Oh, it hit 2905. You silly core. Why would you do that? Yeah, I think it just... Yeah, so man, I hate these smart boost algorithms so much. I'm pretty sure it just crashed itself. Like, it boosted way too high in GT2 for no... Because, like, GT2 runs cooler, so the card was like, hey, I'm gonna run way more boost, and then it crashed. Okay, there we go. Well, we're gonna have to restart Firestrike then. Like, the crash doesn't wipe the voltage controller configuration because AMD doesn't actually, like, configure anything almost on the voltage controller. So, all of the, like, the voltage offset from the EVC2 is still very much there. So we're going to try that again. I don't know why I'm messing with the power slider. Like, the card is currently on a soft power play table that gives it, like, 1,000 watt power limit, so... yeah, that's not really a concern. I'm going to try 2100 again on the memory. Just, you know, going to be a bit methodical with it this time. 2663 min clock, and we're going to... Like, I want to try 28... Let's try 2880, I guess. Yeah, let's try 2880. Because, like, it looked like a solid run. Like, the GT1 FPS looked great. And then GT2 just decided to... Like, why did it even go up to 2905? Right? Like, the readout is 2905. We're not even... Like, we're set to 2880, you silly card. So, yeah. Smart boot... Like, Vega did this too. Especially on Sub-Zero, Vega was so annoying. Because, like, the start of the test, it would boost, like, 200 megahertz higher than the rest of the run. Which is like, could you not? This isn't quite so bad. Like, this doesn't crash right at the start of the benchmark. It usually crashes somewhere midway through, so it doesn't do that thing where it would, like, boost way too much way too early. But it's still annoying. So, yeah. The card's cooled down, 23 degrees now. So let's hit it. Another option would be to boost the voltage for GT2. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Because GT1 is, like, insanely hot. So this test, super hot. This is where it pulls the most power. This is where the hotspot temperature maxes out. But GT2 runs cold. So I could probably run GT2 at, like, 20 millivolts more. And if the card decides to do something stupid with boost, we can just sort of brute force it with extra voltage. Also, that frame rate wasn't great. I think that previous run that crashed was was a lot faster on GT1. That's so dumb, though. Like, working around the stupidity of the boost algorithm by adding extra voltage for the workload where it decides to boost too hard. Like, that's... Like, the whole point of boost algorithms is that they're supposed to be, like, smart and not do stupid shit. And then there's, you know... Like, the thing is, with Pascal, or at least NVIDIA GPUs, I don't think they're this smart. Like, at least my experience with NVIDIA GPUs is nowhere near as, like, why is the card, like... There's nowhere near as much, like, why is the card doing X situations. Whereas with AMD cards, it seems like the boost algorithm on these things just has a mind of its own and understands the laws of physics in ways nobody else can. And so when it gets the opportunity to crash a good run, it will. That's the other thing I really don't like with the 69. Yeah, so if you bench cards that don't have boost algorithms or NVIDIA cards, it's very easy to get them to like a point in terms of stability where they're like artifacting really hard, but they're not crashing. Um, this is insanely hard to get these cards to artifact. These will just outright crash out of nowhere. And my theory is that basically the boost algorithm just gets a little trigger happy and then crashes the card. And that's why that happens. And that's why you don't see artifacts, because if you push the frequency to the point where it would like on like a without boost it would start artifacting, well with boost it just crashes itself. Anyway, that's an okay result, I guess. Yeah, so now it's like number 8 on the rankings. But we need to go faster. How am I going to do that? You know what, let's do the memory now, because this seems to be pretty happy, so we're going to give the memory 20 megahertz more and see what that does. I don't expect much, but yeah. 27C, we're going to wait for it to cool down a bit. That would be cool to have like a... Like if I was doing... Yeah, I think what would be cool to on like a like an extreme overclocking focused 6900 XT, it would be cool if it came with some kind of little control panel that plugs into the card, say through the rear IO, that lets you just like trigger between different voltage profiles or different voltage offsets. I mean, you can do it with the EVC2, but it's like doesn't like the thing is it's like this is a third party thing. If it was like first party, I think it would be really cool to have like a little like a voltage offset just controller. And you could have like 3 profiles or maybe 8 profiles, right? Like there's no such thing as too many profiles. Like if there's too many of them, you just don't use the extra ones. So yeah, 8 seems like a very excessive number. And card's down to 22 degrees now. The funny thing is also if the card's really cold, it might crash itself because it'll boost too hard again. So it's always fun. Yeah, a little offset controller would be cool. There's like one button to trigger through the profiles somehow. No, okay, well, no, just have 8 buttons. There. Solves that. Yeah, yeah, you could have a switch. Oh. The thing is, it's like you couldn't implement it as a... Well, I guess you could, but it would be a pain. Like, at that point, it's just easier to get a hotkey, like it would just be... It's just easier to use the EVC2. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking, like, you could have 8 buttons, a switch, right? And in one mode, the switch basically the switch, what it would be for is you could choose if you're in, like, setting mode or, like, using mode. So in setting mode, you could, like, set the offset per button. And then in use mode, well, whichever button you hit is the offset you get. Yeah, I think that would be neat. And then there would be like 2 buttons to change the offset up and down. So you could potentially have a negative offset if you wanted that for some reason. Maybe you could squeeze a bit more boost out of it, like the combined test by lowering the voltage for it. With an older, like, with an NVIDIA, like, analog voltage controller, you could actually kinda do... It would be kinda easy to do, but it would be janky AF. Like, you just have a bunch of, like, potentiometers and then a switch to switch between which potentiometer you're on. This combined run kinda sucks, I think. Yeah, it kinda looked like that. That run looked like the last test kinda sucked. Oh, no, it was okay. Oh man, that physics score. That physics score. So, like... Well, I mean... Well, it's just a nice physics score to look at. There, let's put it that way. 44,100. Okay, let's try 2140. Wait for it to cool down a bit. Okay, well, this video is going to turn out a lot longer than I was planning. Actually, I can just put the EVC2 on top of the screen. On, like, my end, not on the... Not on the capture. Yeah, and then right now I would just have to go up to, like, 0.75 volts or something and press apply before the loading screen finishes, and theoretically it should make GT2 more stable if I'm running higher frequency. Or at least that's... yeah. The thing is, it's like you have to make it to GT2 first. Oh, this physics run is a bit weaker. So can I shrink this a bit? I can. Okay, let's not do that. That's a bad idea. There is a bunch of monitoring functionality. The thing is, with a lot of modern AMD GPUs, the driver is pulling the controller so frequently that if you enable the monitoring, it keeps glitching out. So that's why I'm not using it. Also, it makes the whole UI really laggy for the EVC2 software. It's fine if you want to monitor, like, the memory and the memory controller voltage, but for core and SoC, it's horrible. 16811, lovely. So yeah, it just keeps getting faster, even though, like, the physics score came down. Now let's try 2160. Close that. The interesting thing with the memory clock is that... Wait, what? That was 2160? Oh, it's because I changed the memory clock just now. But yeah, at least according to GPU Z, the memory clock isn't constant. And what I've noticed is that low core clocks, the memory clock is closer to the setting that you actually punch into the driver than at high core clocks. So... yeah, like I did a test of like 2190 memory clock on stock core clock, and it ran great. But if I run 2190 at like, well, frequencies like we're running right now, then it runs garbage, which is also like, these cards, too smart, way too smart, obnoxiously so. I wonder if just changing the voltage alone would raise the score. Like, maybe if you just feed the chip more voltage, it'll automatically figure out that it should boost more. That seems kinda... That seems kinda dumb. Or at least, like, that doesn't seem like that should work. Because in my experience with AMD's boost algorithms, they generally... like, if the voltage is too low, they'll, like, micro-throttle and then eventually crash. But if you give them a more voltage, it doesn't tend to do anything. So yeah, I don't think adding voltage on its own would inherently lead to any benefits. Unless it's already like throttling due to being right on the edge in terms of voltage requirements. The combined test really, really likes memory clock. And this is just universal across like all GPUs in my experience. Is just like this test loves memory performance. It's also really inconsistent. Like you can run like combined back to back is the one that sees the most variance in my experience. And sometimes it just decides to underperform for no apparent reason. Faster again, slightly. Graphics approaching almost 17,000. Let's try a 2180 run. And we're gonna stop at 2180 because I've messed around with higher frequencies and maybe sometimes they maybe kind of work, but 90% of the time they just freaking don't. So I did apply that right at 2180. I still need to wait for the card to cool down a bit. Okay, I'll start it at 25, I think, because the workload doesn't start immediately. Now you might be wondering why am I walking up the memory frequency like this, just to show that it actually works on my card. Because I've already seen one comment that just annoys me so much, which was like, oh, you should run 2120. That leads to the best performance. And it's like, please don't tell me how to run my card. Now it's going to decide to like underperform to make me look like an idiot. Well, I don't think it's going to be any slower, but I don't think it necessarily picked up any speed. The annoying thing is like, there's a region where you're starting to cross over into the like performance tanks for either error correction reasons. I think the memory just starts throttling or something. Because like the fact that GPU-Z's clock readout floats around based on like core clock settings for the memory. The memory clock seems to be somewhat affected by core clock settings. And like the fact that it's never actually equal to the frequency you put in. Maybe I should try like a really low core clock and high memory clock test to see if like maybe that'll get the memory to actually like stick properly. I don't know. Yeah, I'm like the thing is like it could be error correction, but the thing is you can get artifacting from memory clock. Like you can get to that point. So it's like, do you just like, can you just overcome the error correction at some point? Not that, like, your performance improves. Your performance still sucks, but... Okay, that physics run... This physics run should be pretty strong. You can tell almost from, like, from the beginning, you can tell. If it hits, like, 160 FPS right at the start, then it's probably going to be a strong run. It very rarely happens that you get, like, a really good initial, and then it, like, tanks. It either starts out bad and finishes bad, or it starts great and it finishes finishes great as well. Yeah, Combine's upset about something, I think. I missed the beginning of it, so that doesn't look great. Yeah, no, this Combine looks so terrible. Also, Combine's probably more sensitive to memory instability than the other tests, so that Combine was awful. I think graphics will be about the same or up. Okay, so yeah, graphics is about the same, physics is okay, and Combined is down. Well, actually, graphics was down a bit as well, so I guess we're going to run with 21... Okay, wait, no, we're going to try something else. So we're going to go to the IR35217. And I am just going to reduce the V-droop and give it more memory voltage. And also fiddle with the memory controller voltage. So we're going to give it 1.394. And because this is the way I normally run it anyway, so... And we're going to try 1.931 on the memory controller. And no, I'm not going to do the confirm thing, so just apply the changes for me. Oh, no. Oh, okay, well, there was just one error. We're going to pull up the monitoring, because I want to... Oh, boy. Okay, wait. Turn the monitoring off. Yeah, okay, so we're getting the voltage that I wanted. So we're going to turn the monitoring back off again, and switch over to the XDPE. Okay, and here we're just going to do apply changes. That's 2180. Sensors, we're at 24 degrees again, so let's just hit it. Firestrike Extreme seems more tolerant of high memory clock. Which would make sense, because it's like lower resolution, so it should put less load on the memory system. I think that's about the same on this run. Also, the idea behind having graphics test 1 and graphics test 2 is that graphics test 1 is supposed to be all about core performance, and graphics test 2 is supposed to be more memory intensive. Which is why graphics test 1 is so insanely hot. Consistently one of the, like, for Firestrike specifically, it is the hottest test out of all four that it ends up running. Because, like, physics doesn't actually load up the GPU at all. It looks like we're going to get a solid physics run again, which is nice. Now the main question is, like, is combined going to suck or not? It's reading out 2172 on the memory clock in GPU Z, which is really high. Okay, so this is a strong combined. Okay, so you do need the extra voltage. Maybe it might be the memory controller. I'm not sure. I've not run... Well, the thing is, I've messed around with, like, undervolting the memory controller a crazy amount, and it just doesn't crash. So, I don't know. Maybe, like, the thing is just, like, the memory system on this thing is just, like, it hates crashing. The core crashes all the time. The memory, on the other hand, really doesn't want to. Yeah, so now we have, like, best score so far. Graphics is about the same, but combined is... I think this is the best combined so far. Physics is okay. And overall score is a 16,855. Which still doesn't put me in 7th place, but yeah, with this session, like, we're still we're still 8th so far, but yeah, at this point we're gonna push the core. So we're gonna try 2900. 2902. And I have a plan. So we're gonna apply that. I'm going to close that. And then we're going to go to the EVC2, and we're going to punch 0.75, 0.075. So 75 millivolts offset. And I'm going to have it ready to trigger, like, 90, and I'm going to have it set up so that I can switch it to 94 when GT2 starts, assuming that we make it through GT1. We might not make it through GT1, but I think GT1 should be fine because it's really hot and it throttle, like, it's relative to GT2, it's throttling. Okay, we're at 23 degrees again. Gotta get my mouse ready. Don't want to hit the trigger too early though, because, yeah. Hopefully we make it through GT1. Coil winds back. At this point the card's pulling peaks of over 500 watts probably. There's a part right after this point where it likes to crash. Okay, we made it. I'm going to apply the extra voltage. Okay, the extra voltage applied. So there's no, like, GT2 can't crash now. Like, it's on another 20 millivolts. It better not crash. Okay, so it looks like this technique might work. I don't know if plus 20 millivolts is, like, necessary. I'm not too bothered by it. Like, the thing is, GT2 is so much colder. I don't think it matters too much if I give it a little too much voltage. And we're going to leave the extra voltage on there for combined and everything. Because, like, the main concern is, like, running it too hot. Because that also will cause instability and, like, artifacting, but it, like, the main hot test is GT1. Okay, that looks like a really strong combined. Yeah, that looks like just all around really strong combined. I'm not sure if this is going to be my top score, but it's definitely fast. Interesting that the max clock hasn't gone up. 17016, yeah. Quick. It's quick now. So actually, yeah, that beats my current top score. It does not beat the score in front of me, though. Okay, but the whole flicking the voltage for GT2 actually seems like a great idea. So we're going to go back down. I'm going to go down to 81 millivolts offset. Because I think we want a little bit more voltage in GT... GT1. And I'm going to go back up to 0.094 for GT2. And this time we're going to try a 29... Man, 2931 would be sick. But I don't think that's going to run. Also, max power draw was 499 watts, but... 2931. Let's try 2931. Like, worst case scenario, it crashes and I have to start from the beginning. Not literally from the beginning, I just have to redo all the settings because... I think there is a profile saving option, isn't there? Yeah, but that's a hassle. Like, the thing is the sliders are so... Like, the sliders are actually nice to use these days. There's some OC utilities where the sliders are absolutely unusable, but the AMD driver actually does a decent job of having sliders that aren't a pain to deal with. The fan control is annoying, but that's a really minor complaint in my opinion. Like, who needs fan control? Actually, you know what? I'm going to bump GT2 to 100 millivolts because it does run way, way colder, and it's like... I'm not too fussed about overloading it. Yeah, like it's running in like the 400 watt range, whereas GT1 is running close to 500. So please pass GT1. If this pass runs, damn it! Still, oh man, we're still the highest max clock registered was 2905. It's always so weird. So maybe 88 millivolts for GT1 and then 100 for GT2. I don't really want to run more than 100 for GT2. Let it cool down again. Yeah, 507 watts max power draw. What kind of clocks was it pushing? You know what? Maybe I'm going to raise the min clock a little bit. That doesn't really do anything to performance. Like, as long as you're not running it way down there, way low, it doesn't do much of anything. But it can affect stability. So I'm wondering if, like, the gap is too big again. Also, running really high min clock sucks. Don't do that. There's like at least with my card, there seems to be like a perfect ratio of min clock to max clock. And if you're in it, it goes great. And if you're outside of it, things get really unstable. and you like lose and you start losing performance because it's unstable, so you have to downclock your max clock, and then you lose performance because your max clock is low. So, yeah, we're back at 24 degrees, so let's hit it. I'm gonna go up to 100 for GT2, assuming that we make it into GT2. I really hope I make it into GT2. I don't like crashing in GT1. The oscilloscope's reading 1.27 volts at this point. If anyone was wondering. Oh man, we did not get as much of an FPS boost as I was hoping for. Okay, we're gonna apply. Also, there was a spot of artifact. Oh no! No, the EVC, no! I think the EVC dropped. Yeah, it dropped. Oh, hell. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Don't, not now. Now is not the time to drop, you stupid device. No, don't confirm. Okay. We have more volts. Luckily, it crashes in a later section of GT2, so... Oh, man. Yeah, and this is why we should just have like, everything should be controlled in hardware, not software, because software likes to not work. I mean, it would probably help if the system I'm using to control the EVC2 wasn't the system I'm currently using to capture the video, like, record the video, but... Yeah, okay, so GT1 passed, GT2 passed, 2924 max clock. Oh boy. Okay, you know what? I'm going to give combined another 6 millivolts because I really don't want it to crash. Don't you dare crash on me. You horrible pile of trash. This has got to be like over, like, I wasn't paying enough attention to physics just then, so I don't know if physics looked okay. Luckily, because Firestrike Ultra is at 4K, the physics score, like, it still helps you to have a high physics score, but it doesn't help as much as if you were running, like, Firestrike Extreme. In Firestrike Extreme, having a big physics score is absolutely critical, whereas in Firestrike Ultra, it's still, you know, it helps, but not as much. So... yeah, okay, now you can start seeing artifacting, which I think they're just thermal artifacts, as in we're pushing so much voltage into the core that it's getting so hot that it's doing that. 2929 max clock, oh man. Yes! Oh man, I just smashed that score I was aiming for. Oh man. Top 3. That's the top 3. I just beat Dancop and his LN2 3090. With tessellation turned on. Like, that's a 3090 on LN2, I think. Yeah, that's on LN2. That thing's pushing 2685. Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna save this. So yeah, the trick is run GT2 with extra volts, I guess. Just gonna throw this on the desktop, also gonna throw it on a USB stick. 69 FSU... third. Okay, there we go. Hopefully they didn't update system info. Okay, I'm actually gonna upload the score right now. Because, yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it on that leaderboard. And we're gonna show it off in the video. Actually, this is my weakest physics, like, run so far today. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Card's so quick now. Where is that USB stick? There we go. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to upload that. Are you kidding me? Don't freaking scan. Oh, man. That's like my USB stick that I've been just using for like BIOS flashing and everything. Like it's just been getting used for everything recently, and so keeps giving me needs to get scanned errors. Okay, wait, where is that score? FSU 3. Okay, there we go. So, fun fact, if you're into benching, there is this. So I'm not sure how many people are aware of the fact that you can go here to the upload service. So you don't have to go through like the application, you can go to the upload service and just upload the file. Anyway, I'm doing this from Firefox, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. Where is that score? Yes, it's valid. Heck yeah. So, ta-da! Air cooling. Hell yeah. Oh boy. Wait, I've lost track of where OBS. Yeah, there we go. Third place now. I wish it showed us like breakdown of the score, like performance. But yeah, 17,199 versus 17,321. Okay, so the 3090 is actually getting a little bit more FPS, and it's demolishing me on combined. But 5950, like, you know, yeah, like I'm getting destroyed on combined, but 5950X strong. Well, actually more like B550 master strong. Because, yeah, like, the thing is, like, the same CPU, same memory kit, different motherboard, and I had a hell of a time getting 43,000. Now, I'm not sure that the master isn't the only board that's capable of this kind of thing. Every single gigabyte board that you can currently buy should be doing these kind of, should be able to do these kinds of scores, because the main thing is the memory topology that they come with, and then just gigabytes BIOS. And, yeah, like, gigabyte for AM4, like, their 4-DIMM daisy chain is basically my favorite memory topology on AM4, at least from the ones that I've tried. So I've not tried like ASRock's newest daisy chain, and I've not tried Asus's newest daisy chain. But out of the daisy chains I've messed with, Gigabytes is just an absolute freaking beast. Even when you're like, we're running 4 sticks on it, right? Like I'm saying, oh yeah, daisy chain, and everybody would be like, oh, so you know, it's not good at 4 memory sticks. No. It's great at 4 memory sticks. It's even better at 2, but like it's incredible with 2 sticks, but it's also really, really strong with 4. So yeah. Anyway, and then of course the 6900 XT did a pretty good job today. Yeah, Elmore EVC2 as well, which if you want to get into like you should get an Elmore EVC. Like if you want to get, like the thing is you can use it on 6900 XTs, you can use it on Vega, you can use it on like so many different GPUs, and the number of like GPUs that it supports keeps getting increased. So yeah, this right here. And it also comes with a bunch of accessories for connecting it to stuff, so you don't even have to worry about like not having the headers or anything. Like it comes with headers, it comes with cables, it comes with everything you need to get voltage control on your graphics card. So yeah, makes life so much easier than like messing around with well, even like the first party software from the various voltage regulator manufacturers. Like Infineon's Power Center is a laggy pile of just awful. Also, Infineon blocked me from downloading Power Center. Like the new versions of Power Center, I can't get them because I can't download them, which is super annoying. Anyway, yeah, so that's it. That's it for this video. I managed it under an hour. I impress myself sometimes. I guess we could try one more. You know what? I'm thinking one more run with less memory clock, just to see if there's like some memory instability going on. You know, what if I just left the voltage on? Let's see. I'm just going to leave the voltage alone. I'm not going to raise the voltage for GT2. And we're going to see if it's going to crash. Because I suspect, or if it's going to underperform. Because I think it throttle, like, I think it might thermal throttle in GT1. So we're going to try 2170 on the memory. 106 millivolts of voltage offset. And not extreme, we're going to try ultra. The card is colder than ever before right now. Well, it's 23, 22 degrees, yeah, so let's see. Let's see if it does any better. The thing is, like, I've done I've tried multiple times to get a higher Firestrike Ultra score with this card at this point. And I kept running into, like, the issue, and the thing is, like, on the previous attempts, I was running up to, like, 125 millivolts offset, and it just wasn't working. So I really think that more voltage, at least for GT1, isn't good, but we'll see. Maybe right now it's cold enough, because the thing is, in the last couple days, it's been pretty warm, and then, like, today is abnormally, well, yesterday was kind of cold, and today is really cold. Abnormally so compared to the rest of the, like, recent weather. Okay, no, this looks like it's even faster now. Like, that blipped 123. This might be a smidge faster. This might be like, I don't know, 30 points more. And this card is so hard, like, weird to work with. Because it's like, I spent so much time trying to beat that 17001. And I just couldn't do it. And then it's like, and now it's just like, okay, I just beat that. And I think we just gotta, like, I think this runs even faster. So evidently the memory still wasn't stable. Maybe I should do a 2160 run? And we're seeing some artifacting in GT2 now. That's a bit concerning. Wait, what was that memory clock readout? We're gonna have to check the memory clock readout for GT2. I feel like it was reading something crazy. That kind of looked like a 2188 or something, which, like, it shouldn't be doing that. Maybe it might have been a 2168 and the 6 looked like an 8 to me. Oh well, I can't read it now. And here it comes combined. Oh man, that is a very good combined. Yeah, that is an amazing. Yeah, this is going to be a really good combined. Okay, maybe I was pushing the memory a bit too far. I spent most of my time in Firestrike Extreme, though. So what was the memory clock? 2158? 2158, not 2188. So, oh, actually, no, it went down. It just straight up went down. Like, this is down, like, 20 points. This is down, like, 5 points. And this is down... How many points is that down? That's down, like, 70 points. So, that was actually just straight up slower. Okay, that's nice. I feel much better about myself now. I haven't been wasting my time by running the memory at 2180. It doesn't make a huge difference, but, like this, both of these are down. If both of them are down, then it's like... It definitely isn't helping to downclock the memory at this point. Whereas if either of them, like, if one of them was... Because the thing is, like, combined is really inconsistent. It's all over the place. It's horrible. And graphics score is just kind of like... Well, that one's pretty consistent, but again, like, so if, like, if one of the two hadn't gone down or gone up, then it'd be like, oh no. But since both of them are down, it's like, okay, it's just slower. There's also a chance that maybe the extra voltage screwed it over. I wish there was a FPS breakdown for GT1 and GT2. They kind of oh, it's down here. So 9363 6213. Okay, we're gonna load Documents, 3D Mark. So fun fact, 3D Mark auto-saves your scores. So this is the good one. This is the better one, more like. Or at least it should be. And why does it take so long to load? So it's 93.8, 62.18. And okay, I can't remember what the other one was. 62.18 versus... I wish I could open two scores at the same time. It would be too advanced. Also, 530 watt in power draw. Also, that's GPU chip power draw, right? That's core power draw. That's not full board power draw. So this thing must have been shocking. Okay, so 61.3, 93.63. Wait, come on. 62.13. Okay. At this point, somebody's like, Buildzoid, why don't you just take a screenshot? $62.18, 93.8. Okay, no, it's just faster. Like, it's faster in GT1, it's faster in GT2, it's faster in freaking... It's faster everywhere. So, yeah, in my book, so 2180 is actually the way to go on the memory. Yeah, so that's it for the video. Managed it in just over an hour. So it wasn't like I don't feel like I should have done a live stream of this because it would have been an hour-long live stream, and that's kind of... That doesn't make sense to me as a live stream. So, anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, I guess. That's how I overclock a 6900 XT for benching. You know, the difference between benching and daily is like if I ran Firestrike Ultra on loop, it would probably crash. Also, I wouldn't advise that you shove 106 millivolts into your card for long-term use, especially when it's pushing, you know, 531 watts of power and 101 degrees hotspot temperature. It's not like, well, it doesn't really seem like a good idea for long-term use, in my opinion. Also, the stability is like non-existent. Like you saw, it was artifacting, right? And I mentioned earlier, it's really hard to get these things to artifact, but you can, and here we did it. So, yeah, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, leave any comments, questions, suggestions down in the comment section below. If you'd like to support what I do here with actually hardcore overclocking, I have a Patreon. There's a link to it down in the description below. There's also the AHOC Teespring store, where you can pick up shirts, stickers, posters, hoodies, you know, the usual YouTuber merch. Both the Patreon and Teespring help out immensely with running the channel because, well, without them, I wouldn't have this lovely 6900 XT right here, and all of the capacitors that I added to it. They aren't optional. Like, they're very much necessary. And then thanks to Team Group for the memory sticks. Also, thank you to patrons for the 5950X, and thanks to Gigabyte for the B550 Aorus Master. So yeah, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.